We don't need fancy marketing because I got big biceps and great taste buds. Those are both subjective.
Yep. Today we're looking at the Feral Subs pre-workout and see if it's gonna actually get you bigger biceps. So if you don't know, obviously Feral Subs created by the Tren twins. Uh, need I say more about them? And on their pre-workouts, so they have two choices of pre-workouts. They have the Feral Pump and the Feral Stim. Uh, and pretty much what this means is the Feral Stim has a lot of stim ingredients, and the Feral Pump has no stim ingredients. So if you don't want to take caffeine and things like that, then you can take the pump and still have a good workout. However, I looked at it for a little bit, and I'm not quite sure why they didn't add like a lot of ingredients from the Feral Pump into the Feral Stim. Just like a quick note, I think this is meant for you to buy both of these and just take them together, which makes it more expensive. But I think that's how it's intended to be bought. So as you can see here in the Feral Pump, they put in L-citrulline, betaine anhydrous, like nitrate, taurine, tyrosine, and stuff like that. However, in the Stim pre-workout, they did not put in anything from L-citrulline to taurine to tyrosine. So I do believe that you're intended to be taking both of these together to get the most out of this product. However, that makes it expensive, but just for you to keep that in mind. So I'm going to be mostly going over the Stim pre-workout because we're all Stim junkies over here. Okay, and in the Feral Pump one, there's a bunch of just regular ingredients that you're gonna see in like all pre-workouts, like L-citrulline, taurine, tyrosine. We've seen those before, right? However, in the Feral Stim one, it's actually pretty interesting. There's some ingredients that I have not seen, so we're gonna go over those and see if it's worth it. Looking over at the scoops, we have one scoop, 8 grams, two scoops, 16 grams, which is a tiny scoop. I'll be completely honest. But as I said before, I think they're supposed to be taken together. But let's see the cost on this bad boy. So it's a pretty tiny serving, a pretty tiny tub, standing at 320 grams. And look at the price. So this one's actually pretty expensive. But let's see if the ingredients are worth it. Like if I need to remind you again, 1 to 10 is expensive, 10 is average, and 10 above, 10 to 20 is cheap. So this is pretty expensive pre-workout. Again, almost $50 for only 300 grams of tub. So let's see if the ingredients are good. And very fast looking over it, you can see a lot of stim ingredients, and obviously that's what this is supposed to be. So you see like caffeine, theobromine, which is also stim. You see dicaffeine malate, and you see like beta alanine. I think that's also stim. But yeah, oh, another form of caffeine over here. So yeah, they have a lot of stim ingredients in here, but let's see if all of those stim ingredients work. So first things first, beta alanine and I've actually found the saturation point of beta alanine if you're wondering. So basically, beta alanine, you have to be taking it every single day until you reach the saturation point. This is where it starts to become useful. It starts to make you less tired. It makes you less fatigued after your workouts. You can do more volume. And here it says that the saturation point is at 180 grams. So after you have taken 180 grams of beta alanine, that's when it starts to give you benefit. And as you can see here, 3.2 grams every single day for 56 days, and you can reach your saturation point where beta alanine is useful. Here's the thing, I would not recommend to put beta alanine in here because this is a stim heavy pre-workout. I would rather see rather see the beta alanine in the pump. pump product, because the pump product you can take every single day because there's no stim. However, putting in beta alanine into a stim pre-workout, which has a lot of stimulants, meaning you can, like, I'm looking at this formula, you cannot take this every single day. You should not. There's a lot of stimulants, which makes it good to take it once and then take a break of about 1 or 2 days, and then you can take it again. You should not be taking this every single day, meaning that the beta alanine is it's going to be much harder for you to reach the saturation point if you're not taking this every single day. So the beta alanine, I would say, is a bad ingredient in this pre-workout. Then we move on to taurine, and taurine is great. Again, taurine increases muscle power, reduces fatigue, also regulates bloodstream, meaning you can get better pumps, you can feel better. It works. It works at about 1,000 milligrams, which is okay here. And if you're taking 2 scoops, it works even better. 2,000 milligrams of taurine. This one is a good ingredient. I think that one should be in every single pre-workout. There's no reason not to take it. Now, as per the 11 ATP, ancient peat, and apple extract. Funny enough, it I think it actually works. Now, this study right here says in trained men they use 150 milligrams, which is actually what you would get with the double scoop. They use 150 milligrams, and they actually got an effect. So supplementation, enhanced resistance training, induced skeletal muscle hypertrophy without affecting fat mass or blood chemistry in healthy males, meaning it worked. Now, it's a risky move to put this in a pre-workout because there's not that much studies suggesting that it works. Again, there should be more to really see if it works. However, the stuff that we have right now does work, and I'm pretty sure they used exactly this study, and then they decided to put this in there. So I guess this pre-workout is more based on science that I thought, which is good. Uh, yeah, which is just good, I think. But yeah, I think for this to really know that it works, I think we need a bit more studies. But the ones that we have right now do say that it works, so it works. Next, we can move on to Senactive. For Senactin, so as you can see here, it's Panax mixed with Rosa, and I think both of those have been studied. However, not too much. So basically, this is the people who make the actual blend of Senactin, and obviously they're going to say that it works, but that is a bit of a biased, I would say. Um, and here they basically show a bunch of studies, but it's mostly used in aging, so like reduce stem cell aging, or like longevity, or protects the liver against exhaustive exercise induced oxidative stress in rats. There's also no studies on this on like more reliable sources, so it's pretty hard to say if it does work, or if it doesn't work. But I would be leading towards not don't risk it type of side. Yeah, it needs more proven clinical studies that it actually works, and then I would believe that it works. uh yeah, I would probably skip this ingredient. Not that great. Then we move on to trigger 2, which is another blend of L-aspartic acid and di dimethyl aspartic acid. This one has pretty mixed results. Again, many studies saying that the results of it had no effect on testosterone or training outcomes. Here we can also see that it after 28 days of supplementing, it had no change. And this one says that it improved performance. However, they use sodium, which is a bit different. Yeah, it did not increase the mean power output. So aspartic acid, Never even heard of it. That's the crazy part. But yeah, I would say no. I would say that's probably a no. Then we move on to Uridine 5. Bro, these names are hilarious. Yeah, let's see. Let's see what the studies say about this one. So it also seems like it's a form of sodium, so I suppose it could be good, but I'm not quite sure why you wouldn't just use regular sodium. But you know, okay, this is interesting. So this study pretty much said that it's good at making you sleepy. Uridine 5 phosphate improves the quality of infant sleep. Oh, that's and there's nothing else on it. That's great. Promotes formation of cell membranes and even anti-aging effects. Um, so it's like for neuron growth promoting or like for dopamine increase. There's a lot of other things that can increase your dopamine. So I wouldn't really pick this kind of form of something that hasn't been tested too much. So I would probably say no to this one. To this one as well. Yeah, probably no. Then we move on to caffeine, which is, I mean, come on, it's the most proven ingredient. Catch up, right? But it's at a nice low dose here. I would have expected it to be a bit more. Again, if you're taking 2 scoops, which usually the pre-workouts are meant to be taken in 2 scoops, then yeah, sure, 300 is okay, but 150 is gonna be a bit underdosed. So yeah, 300 is fine. Again, caffeine works, but we also have other forms of caffeine in here, which I'm gonna look at, and they probably increase your caffeine even more. So yeah, you can see here, this increases your caffeine by 75 more, and this increases your caffeine by 7.5. So even with the 150, okay, so I'll take it back. Even with the 150, you're getting about 200 milligrams of caffeine. And these are just different forms. So, this one, for example, releases slower into your bloodstream, meaning you're going to get that energy for longer. So, it's okay. It's okay. So, these three ingredients combined, um, about 200 milligrams of caffeine, which is okay. Again, if you're using caffeine, if you want to increase your performance for caffeine, you need to stay between 200 or 210 milligrams and about 600 milligrams, and in that range your performance is going to increase. Again, with caffeine it's very simple. The more you take, the better it works on you, the stronger you become. However, there is it's kind of like a this kind of graph, and then it kind of tips off at about 600 milligrams, because this is where it becomes too much. Your heart rate, your blood pressure increases too high, and you're sitting on the gym floor thinking what the hell you're doing, about to pass out. Not a great experience. Wouldn't recommend it. So stay in that range, and you're gonna be fine. So yeah, then let's move on to methylliberine. I suppose this study here says that it's good. That it is good. Doesn't say how much you should be using. However, it does say that it improves concentration, well-being, and the ability to tolerate stress. Here it's just you should be using 150 of it. So okay, so this is a lot. Um, yeah, that's okay then. I guess it's for focus. They have other ingredients for focus here as well, like huperzine. So I suppose this pre-workout is mostly just for focus, and for stimming you the hell out. So yeah, I think this one is okay. Then this one we did. That's just caffeine. More caffeine is fine. Huperzine A1 does actually work. It does work for, I wouldn't say focus so much as memory, which it works great with alpha GPC, but in this pre-workout they don't have alpha GPC, so I'm not quite sure why they added the huperzine. Huperzine works okay for memory. Basically, increases your memory and decreases confusion. And it's used in Alzheimer's people. So I would use it together with Alpha GPC because there it kind of suggests more that it has a more effect of the focus. But here I think it's at a super low dose anyway, so I don't think it matters that much. Huperzine, usually you would be using it somewhere around 200 milligrams. Here's only 40 milligrams in the double scoop. So it's quite underdosed, and it probably is not that great in this pre workout formula. Then the next one is caffeine again. We talked about that. That's pretty good. Um, and now we can move on to GBB Go. For gamma, it pretty much makes the production of L-carnitine better, which is good. However, they have not added the L-carnitine itself in this, so it doesn't really maximize the use of this. So it could theoretically increase your performance if it's increasing the production of or the pathway of L-carnitine. However, not really that much studies on specifically GBB Go and performance. I think for that there definitely needs to be a bit more. Not that great of uh, supplement to be used. Not that great of ingredient to be using right now, I would say. Yeah, no, I can't see this being any good. So that's a no. And lastly, estrogen, and I think we've probably done this before. And easily enough, we found that it was bad. Enhances absorption by supporting the nutrient transport within. Enhances absorption of what? Within the gut, transmitting express, blah blah blah. So what did this find? 35. So it's actually dangerous. It's actually dangerous above 350 milligrams, but I don't think. No, this is dosed okay. Okay. So basically, so enhances nutrient absorption in the gut. Which I'm not quite sure why you would need that in a pre-workout. Also, not that many studies on estrogen and performance, specifically, or even muscle increase, absorbs nutrients. I'm not quite sure why you would need to absorb nutrients before a workout. So I would say this one's probably a bad one as well. So a quick overview: estrogen bad, GBB go bad. This is all right. Bad. This is all right. This one was. I think we said it was okay. It was okay. Theobromine is. Oh yeah. Also another fun thing. Theobromine. I don't think we even talked about theobromine. Theobromine does work. It's basically extract from like chocolate, and it has kind of a interaction where if you go, it works kind of the same as caffeine. So it's also a stimulant, and the more of you take it, the kind of less of an effect it has. So meaning going too high is never really that good, and here in the double scoop is 300 milligrams, which is a lot. Usually, theobromine is used maximum about 200 milligrams. So the 300 milligrams is probably a bit too much, I would say. However, theobromine does work. So yeah, theobromine works, caffeine works. Uridine 5 didn't work, trigger 2 didn't work. Synactive didn't have that much studies on it. Elevate ATP worked, taurine worked, and beta alanine did not work. So again, I have to emphasize this, even if I have to emphasize this even more. It would probably be best if you use this pre-workout with the pump pre-workout. Then it would kind of be better because you're not getting any L-citrulline, any tyrosine in this, which are like proven ingredients. So I don't know why you would not add them in these, but yeah, I think you're supposed to take them with the pump pre-workout as well. Also, they added a new flavor, blood orange, limited edition. So if you want to buy that, buy that. But back to my point, the package itself, it's a lot of fucking caffeine. I'll tell you that much. There's a few ingredients that work, but there's a lot of ingredients that you could get rid of, and it would still have the same effect. On top of that, it's a tiny serving, and it costs a lot. But it was 40 servings. Yeah, I don't know. I would say this one is pretty expensive. There's probably better stuff that you can get, and which has the pump ingredients already in them. I don't want to be taking two pre-workouts, before I go to the gym. I just want to take one and be done with it. So it has a lot of stim, that's for sure. However, not that great. If we were doing on a tier list, I would have to put it somewhere in the C tier, maybe. If you're using it by itself, then it's definitely much worse. If you're using with the pump, then it's much better. I would say if you're using this with the pump pre workout, then it's like a B or like a A tier. But if you're using this by itself, then it's definitely like a D tier. So nice little middle ground for you. Let's go C tier, and that's fine. So yeah, thank you, and see you in the next one.